welcome to the session. So we are discussing about Unit 5. In the Unit 5 we have till now discussed about email security, which is PGP and SBMME. Then we have discussed about an important topic which is SSL, which is a transport layer protocol. In this session we are going to discuss about IP security, okay, which is internet layer IPsec, which is an network layer protocol. So now coming to the web security, you have SBMME, which is an application layer. SSL is application to application. So now for example, if there is one application which I require security, I can use SSL. But if I use IPsec, that means from any computer to any computer, you have a secure connection. It establishes the secure connection. This is about network layer. Okay, this is very important. Why? Because if some company persons are working with work from home, they require a secure connection from home to their office server. So definitely they will use IPsec, okay, for secure connection, because in the middle no one should attack them. Whatever may the application, the person might use 10 applications. For 10 applications, if they use IPsec, it is secure. For example, if IPsec is not there, if they want to use SSL, for every web page, definitely they have to have SSL. Okay, so it is basically host-host. SSL is application to application. Okay, hope even SBME also. Okay, so now basically what is TCP/IP is? TCP/IP is a protocol which is in the network layer. So what happens is you have the application. Okay, in that you have the application. You will have the TCP layer. You have the IP address. In that layer, what happens is you will be embedding the IP address of a person. So there will be two parts in address. Okay, IP address. So basically you will have the sender's IP address and receiver's IP address. So basically what happens is the packet goes through the WAN. Okay, so maybe there can be a lot of attackers. So the attackers can get the packets. They can even perform some traffic analysis. How many packets are going, how many packets. For example, if I know the senders and receivers IP addresses, I can easily identify, how many packets are sent, how many packets are not sent, by which I can say this person is sending an image, this person is sending a video, or this person is sending text, like that. So even that should not be there. Okay, for that reason we are going to use IPsec. Okay, the why we are going to have IPsec protocol is IP is not secure. Basically it is designed in 1970s and 1980s. So at that time, how many computers are there means hardly you can count with figures, numbers. Okay, small 100 or 200 computers. So at that time no one even thought of how big, what is internet. So definitely when IP protocol was defined, when the internet protocol was defined, at that time security was not even thought of. After that, what has happened is, there are a lot of problems. So there is something called source spoofing. So I might send a packet, I can catch a packet. In the packet I can change the IP address and send it to the receiver. So it's very easy also. There are a lot of applications you can see, you can search in the net how to make source spoofing. I can also save the packets and use it after some other time for which is called as a replay attack. There might be no confidentiality and no data integrity, like that. These are all problems in IPs, because you require, when what happens is when a packet goes, at every router using the IP address, the routing will be done. So you have to show the IP address. Definitely. You can't encrypt the IP address. If the IP address is encrypted, where will the packet go? Definitely it should not be encrypted. So this can be used by people for source spoofing, replay attacks, all those things. Okay, so there are a lot of attacks like denial of service attacks, DOS attacks, replay attacks, spying, etc. These are the problems with IP. That is the reason why new protocol was developed, which is called as IPsec. Okay, so basically what does IPsec provide is verification of source of IP packets. When IPsec is there, you cannot perform source spoofing. When IPsec is there, you cannot perform replay attacks. It provides authentication. Okay, it prevents replaying of old attacks. Already I told you. Okay, so it provides data integrity, confidentiality, and authentication. This is the main goal of IPsec. This is basically with computer to computer. If you establish a connection, okay, first initially you have to establish a connection. Then from computer to computer, you are providing authentication, confidentiality, data integrity, non-reputation, and many things. That is the main purpose of IPsec. Okay, so basically I told you IPsec, there are a lot of protocols like I told you Kerberos, PGP, SBMM, etc. But these are all application specific. Okay, so if you access 100 web pages, only one page will use SSL, one web page. Okay, so all the pages are not secure. Okay, so but if I use IPsec, means from system to system, every packet you send it is secure. So now see here, maybe your computer and your computer is secure. Why we require secure is, but when the packet goes outside of your network, there might be lot of attackers at the router level. For example, if you want to know how many hops, there might be 30 hops when you're using internet. Okay, 30, maximum 30 hops, maybe 10 hops. In the middle there can be some attackers. They can use some tools like Wireshark. Using Wireshark, what you can do is, you can just get some data, what these two people are communicating. Maybe they might not get the complete what exactly they are communicating if they encrypt at the application level, if they encrypt, but they'll get how many different packets, what is the size of the file, etc. They can get some information if they are sniffing. Okay, so this is actually insecure. The goal of IPsec is to secure this total line. That is the main purpose of IPsec. So, and for that, if you see, IPsec is not a single protocol. It is a framework. It contains lot of protocols. I'll discuss in the next slide. So now, basically, where this IPsec is used, for example, if you have SBI office, there are lot of branches. If you take a lot of branches, maybe in Vizag there are 100 branches. Maybe in Hyderabad there are 500 branches, etc. Lot of branches in Mumbai, etc. Okay, they should form a network. Okay, and for that network, they cannot have a private network. Definitely, they should use internet. So definitely for that, what they'll do is, they'll use IPsec, so that even though they are using internet, no one knows exactly what they are communicating, and they are 100% guaranteed that authentication, confidentiality, data integrity, non-reputation, etc. all services are provided using IPsec. So basically, it is not for communication between Alice and Bob. Simple communication between Alice and Bob, you can use some basic encryption algorithms on your own and you can send, you can use WhatsApp, etc. Okay, but banks, military services, definitely they require IPsec. Okay, so now basically what are we going to do? So there are two modes of IPsec, transport mode and tunnel mode. I'll discuss in detail what is this transport mode and tunnel mode. Okay, you are having some security association. So first initially you have to establish a connection between two computers when you are going to communicate. Okay, so that will have a security association. You will have a security parametric index. You will have some database also. I'll discuss in detail about this in the next session. Okay, so basically you might use authentication header protocol. I told you IPsec is a framework. It is a group of protocols. Authentication header is one of the protocol. In the same fashion, encapsulation service payload is another protocol. These are the two protocols. Okay, another one protocol is there which is called as internet key exchange protocol. Okay, basically if you see the architecture, you have some policies. Okay, some security policies you are having. You have this protocol which is called as encapsulating service payload. Okay, this is one protocol. Okay, in the same fashion, authentication header is one of the protocol, and IKE, internet key exchange, this is available in application layer. But we don't say that IPsec belongs to application layer. For key exchange purpose, you will be using IKE for key exchange, because for encryption, decryption, for creating digital signatures, you have to exchange, sender and receiver should have keys. So if there is a person in US, I can't go to US and give the key and come back, and again we'll start communicating. It's a costly affair. For that reason, there are some key exchange protocols, just like Diffie-Hellman key exchange. Okay, so this is one protocol which belongs to the application layer. Okay, ESP and AH belong to network layer only. Okay, hope you have understood this. So now coming to, so this is totally about IPsec architecture. Okay, so now here, if there are two computers, the computer can be a router and your computer. The computer can be your network computer and another network computer, or there can be a lot of different varieties. Okay, so now first initially you have to establish a connection. For that you will use internet key exchange for establishing the connection, and when you establish, either you are using authentication header protocol or you are using encapsulation the encapsulating security payload. Okay, either this or this. So one connection will have a security association and it will have SPI, security parameter index. I'll discuss in detail in the next session. Okay, so IPsec, basically you can provide IPsec security in three ways: host to host, that is from computer to computer; host to gateway or router; gateway to gateway. Okay, so like that. So basically in IPsec operates in two modes: transport mode, that is end to end, especially tunnel mode is basically for virtual private networks. So there are two modes: transport mode, which is from system to system; you can have tunnel mode, which is from router to router, and you also have authentication header. Okay, now let us discuss about authentication. Basically authentication header provides authentication and also it also provides data integrity. Okay, it is going to use HMAC. Okay, for HMAC it is going to use SHA algorithm. So one more important thing is, when you are using HMAC, the key is important. The key is being shared using IKE, Internet Key Exchange Protocol. Okay, so authentication header will be there. What this authentication header is going to do is, it is going to provide a sequence number. Okay, it gives a sequence number. It is saying why this sequence number is used is to eliminate non-reputation, to eliminate replay attacks. What is replay attack is, when two persons are communicating, in the middle the attacker will save the packets. After some time he will again send those packets. So by the time when the old packets come to the receiver, by seeing the sequence number, that person will discard the packets, that there is someone has just again replayed the attacks. So for that reason you will be using a sequence number. It is a 32-bit sequence number. Okay, and you are going to use a strong hash algorithm, which is SHA, and you are going to use HMAC. Okay, so now if you see this authentication header, so you will take the IP address, IP header, you will keep the IP header, you will have the TCP header, you will have the sequence number. The sequence number main purpose is to eliminate the replay attacks. You will have SPI, everything you will be keeping this. Okay, and then you will calculate the hash of it, and you will calculate the HMAC, and you will authenticate it. Okay, this is how you will do. This authentication data requires key. That key is already exchanged. Okay, this is how you will be sending this data. Actually this is the data which comes from TCP layer. You will be adding IP header also, because IP header should not be encrypted. Okay, for authentication purpose, for data integrity, what you will do is, you will again keep the IP header. This is possible only in tunnel mode. Okay, this is only in tunnel mode. Okay, so then you have the sequence number, SPI, you will be keeping, and you will be creating a hash of it, and you will be adding the MAC using HMAC. Okay, then you also have ESP. ESP is going to use encapsulating service payload. Basically it provides encryption and decryption. It is used for confidentiality. You can use DES, triple DES, etc. There are a lot of protocols you are having. So you will be using ESP, encapsulation payload. So what are you going to do is, you have IP header, security parameter index, sequence numbers, everything. You will authenticate it and keep the authentication data, and then you will encrypt the packet. Remember this, you are going to encrypt only this part. What is the part you are going to encrypt? It contains data and TCP header. That means the segment which came from the TCP layer, you are going to just encrypt it, and then after encryption, even though if the packet goes, someone in the middle might change the ones to zeros, zeros to ones, like that. For that reason, what you will do is, you will just authenticate this. That means authentication data means you will use HMAC and keep it. Okay, this is how you can use. So ESP provides both authentication and also it provides confidentiality. Hope you understood this. And coming to internet key exchange, this is basically for key exchange. Don't think that only for IPsec you can use IKE. IKE is used for generally for key exchange. Even though if you are not using IPsec, you are using key exchange, you might use IPsec. The remaining topic of SPI, all those things, I'll discuss in the next session. Thank you.